Ladies, imagine this. The man that you're currently with fumbles you into the arms of the man that you were supposed to be with. How do I know this? Because it happened to me. I had a very hard time being able to see my worth and being secure in who I was. I felt like no matter what relationship I was in, I was always getting less of what I was putting in. And my last relationship, before I got with my husband, he was a complete narcissistic, psychopath, abusive person, and would tell me if I left him, I would never find anybody to value me, to love me, to protect me the way that he did, but he didn't do any of those things. So I was just being gaslit and psychologically almost conditioned and trained to believe that I had to stay because nobody else would want me. When I finally had the guts and the ability and the strength to finally be like, you know what? At this point, I'd rather be alone. But sometimes we don't want to be alone because then that forces us to deal with ourselves. And there's going to come a point when you leave that psychopath that you know that you're not even supposed to be with, where you have to sit with yourself and the feelings of realizing that you were the one that allowed that to happen. Because yes, it is very hard to get out of an abusive relationship. I understand that. I've been there. I did that. I've done that. It's hard. However, when you make the plan and you finally get out, you have to sit with those residual feelings of what you allowed. Because I always say you're both the problem and the solution to every situation that you're in. Like, you were the problem for allowing yourself to get into the relationship to begin with, not having enough discernment. And then you were also the problem in not being able to get out and not being able to see your worth and value, to know and not to believe that God was going to protect you, and have faith to know that God was going to allow you and set you up to be able to get out of the situation that you were in. But you're also the solution that when you do get out and you sit with those feelings, you then are able to see your worth, articulate your worth, and then be able to forgive yourself and even forgive them. Right? Because to some capacity, you allow them to treat you that way because you teach people how that they can treat you. So when you're able to finally get out of that, you're able to forgive yourself. You're able to let go of everything that has happened, and you don't carry that into another relationship. Boy, oh boy, do you find your prince. My man is a motherfucking king. My man is chef's kiss. Like anything, like even if I had the ingredients to create a man, I would not have created something so him, you know? So this is just a reminder that maybe you allowing yourself to get out of the relationship is what's going to have that man fumble you right into the arms of the man that you were supposed to be with. And touchdown, baby, we in there.